Here we go, we're in the final stages now. And this is just detailing. So let's see what I'm going to be using today. Bit of string, some scatter, buffer stops, more scatter, good old PVA, maybe some model chain. I'm not too sure. So follow me in the next bit of this video. I'll see you in a mo. First thing I'm going to do is tackle the little gaps underneath the buildings. Basically, this is for the scatter. This is from Tremendous. Got it at a lot of dust. Got that at Worley. It's a really fine kind of grade stuff. So what I'll do, I will speed that up for you, so you don't have to see me do it, or you can watch me doing it if you want, but it's going to be fast. So I'll carry on. Right, pliers are ready. These are too big. Just Pico buffer stops. I'm just gonna snip them down, basically. So I'm gonna snip the end off here and glue it to the track. If I can cut it, that is, without it breaking. Oh, that really did a number on it, didn't it? Wow. That's better. So, that's just the size I want. Like that. That's going to go like there. So I'm going to glue that in, probably with PVA, because I can just leave it then. Just pop it on and leave it. Quite tempted to put these ones on at full length though. Not sure. Might be better to have them all sort of all looking the same, sort of like, all looking like that one really. Because then it sort of keeps everything uniform, doesn't it? Think about it like that, they'd all look better at that way. Yeah, let's do it. Right, I did some adjustment off camera. It was sitting a bit too high, so I had to trim some bits off. About a week ago, I put some paintbrush bristles in a little pot full of green paint, well, watered down paint, I forgot about them. I set them behind the fiddle yard, and I forgot until today. So, I think they've come out pretty well, to be honest with you. Look at that. They're a bit long, because at the moment they're literally way too tall. So I'm going to cut them down, probably about halfway, but I'm not going to be accurate with it. I'm going to hopefully and use them as like tall grasses and reeds and things in little bits, sort of like over here. So the likes of there needs something to sort of hide the edges of it, some grass, like reed and things like that. But what I'm also going to put next underneath it is like some, I forgot what they're called now. Tufts of grass, that's the one, tufts. So I'm going to do that, but the first thing I'm going to do is use this lovely scatter, dark greenish kind of scatter from Paul Chapman, and it's going to go around the edge of the boat, because obviously what happens when things like that are left for a long time, stuff gathers on it, leaves, and it also rots, algae, or you name it. So, good bit of PVA, and away we go. IPA in an old oil bottle. So now I'm going to use the glue that's already there, sort of hopefully, or not, or screw it up big time. There's not much in there anymore, I need to fill it up. What that does, it allows the glue that's underneath to soak through into the stuff on top, and and stuff that isn't there all the way through, so it gets the layer of algae and things a little bit thicker. I don't think that has come out too bad. It's a bit uniform in places, so what I'm going to do is, without applying glue first, I'm going to put some more scatter down, and then I'm going to apply wet it with like a scenic glue, like watered down PVA basically. So first off, a good old IPA. So, spray from a height. Not disturb the pieces on the thing. It's a wetting agent, really. Okay. Also, it stinks. So, using my trusty pipette with some watered down PVA, just gonna drip it on. Now that it's already wet, it should actually work really, really well. This is just literally cheap supermarket PVA. I think it cost me £3 for the massive tub. I don't spend loads on PVA. So if you can see, it's now blending, it's now mixing in really well, rather than pulling on the top of it. If you think about it, basically this boat's been sat here for decades to get looking like this. So when it has, it will, well, with it being there for so long, it'll actually look like this. That's the intention anyway. There we go. You can imagine it, all the moss, algae and things like that, all sitting around there. Right, time to do a bit more. Alright, if you can see, there's some little gaps on the edges of this. So what I'm going to do, using a very similar method to what I've just done, using some of my lovely tremendous scatter, I'm going to just drip it around the edge, brush away some of the stuff I don't want. Say brush, I mean use my fingers, it's easier. And maybe use a brush as well. And I brushed away too much. Guess I'm trying to fill the gap, really. There we go. So, using trusty IPA again. Although, I don't want it on the water. That will get a proper clean, it looks really dusty now. Give that a good soak in. And a little bit of PVA watered down. Should soak right in. Don't worry, it should dry all clear. If not, I'll just add some more weathering powders. Okay, I'll zoom you back out. And I will do the others. Right then, here we go. I did this ages ago. This is just a little piece of garden twine. Just left it in some green water diluted paint for about 3 days, and then just took it out, and it looks quite horrible and green. Basically, is exactly what I want. But it's a little bit too big. Well, I see it's a bit too big, so I might strip it down a little bit. So if I do that, and that did not work the way I expected. There we go. I'll get there in the end. I think I don't need loads of this, so that's a bit better. It's quite a lot thinner now. So it's not going very far, so I will just snip it there. Right, so the plan is, on this end here, it's going to go around the post and to the end of here. To stick it to the end of the boat, I'm going to use super glue, my trusty Gorilla Glue. And as I realised earlier on, I've just placed an order with WWS and forgot to order the super glue. So I don't need loads on this. Apologies, my arm was in the way there. So I will now. Where did I put my tweezers? Got them. See, there's definitely super glue there. And I'm sure I've just stuck myself to the glue. So what I'll do now is I'll put a bit of super glue around there and glue that around it as if it's been tied off. Right then, using my trusty super glue cocktail stick. Make sure I've got any stringy bits, which I have, and I can't get rid of the damn things. I'm just going to put some super glue, not on the rope, but around the actual post. The mooring post is what I want it to be glued round. So just like that, really. I'll leave that to go off a bit, and I'll cut off some more off this. I'll trim that end down a little bit more. Right then, this is where it gets fun. Because what I want is to use this mooring post. I want the rope to go down here into the water, and that's it. But then I want it off here to come down off this into the water, but not be connected to the actual other piece. So again, get my super glue. So I'm putting little pieces of it everywhere. Basically, the idea is that this snapped a long time ago, and it's just sort of gone into the water over time. Obviously it snapped, so the boat, that's why the boat's basically floated off like it has. So for the other end, I'm just going to use a dab of PVA, and about there, I think. But because this surface is actually made of, well, varnish and PVA, it should blend in quite well with just a bit of white. And any lift up at the edge, well, obviously, where stuff goes into water, you see that kind of thing, don't you? Right. So the next step, bit more super glue. I'll dab it on here. And if there is any discoloration from whitening, I will cover it up with something at the end when it's all dry. Okay, don't go yourself to it, Alex. Right, I'll add a bit more super glue to that one. I think the glue is going off because I've got it on a piece of cardboard here. What I'll do then is put a bit of glue on the actual water surface just to help it. Right, that's good. Bit more PVA, just a dab. And I'm going to call that little section done. Right guys, that is looking pretty smart. I'm going to have a mess with some other little bits and see what I can get done. I might put some pallets and things around. So if I do that, I will show you